Right, welcome to an hashtag 5:30 live again with Luke. This is going to be a short one, just around what we are looking at in lockdown and advertising in lockdown. First off, Happy New Year to everybody. I know we're in a lockdown situation, but we're just going to discuss a few things here. So I'm going to discuss some stuff around social media, and Luke is going to discuss some about paid advertising. So Luke, we'll start off with you.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. Happy New Year to everybody. Good to be back on 5:30 live. I think at the minute, a lot of things which people will be worried about is obviously the cash flow in the business, etc. And usually in any business scenario, I think me and you said about this the other day, Adam, sales and marketing in particular industries are the first ones to go. Now, obviously your traditional marketing where you're coming face to face to people and they're going out and about, those sort of methods and paths to marketing are going to be redundant now because everybody is indoors and can't go and do things. However, the digital side of things is arguably one of the best times to do it because everybody is going to be at home and everybody is going to be on those devices at home, the mobiles, their tablets and smart TVs, etc. So now might actually be one of the better times to either continue and not start your advertising or scale or start, depending on what stage your business is at on the marketing journey. So the first things we wanted to talk about is why people should carry on advertising. The first one is obviously people on their phones more. Me and you, again, back and forward on emails all day, but Zoom now, people meet that way. So having a device in front of you all day is what people do. And if they then take their downtime during their working day from home, they might go on social media, they might search Google, things like that, YouTube in their downtime. So all these platforms are going to be used more frequently now. People have got access to them at home. And again, the devices that they're going to be viewing it on is going to be, the main tools that people use for entertainment now. They're at home. It's all well and good people trying to exercise a couple of times a day that when they're allowed to within the guidelines. But as we've said, people are now spending more time in front of the TVs and the phones. So I think that is a great opportunity in some cases for businesses to get in front of people now more than ever, really.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
And just
I was just going to add there. That was the thing is I think I was looking at some stats earlier on around the increase in online sales as well. So particularly if you've got e-commerce side, people are buying a lot more, doing it a lot more online. So we are in front of these devices all the time. So regardless of whether you've got an e-commerce or not, it's a prime time to be in the face of people getting your business aware, ready for when you come back out of lockdown again.
Exactly. And if you think about it, Christmas sales and things like that, companies now, especially particularly your clothing retailers, for example, there's no Boxing Day sales as big as they have been recently because we can't now go to the shops and people are reluctant to do so even when we could. So now all their sales are all online and they're promoting their digital marketing campaigns, advertising. The amount of clothing sales that I've had on Instagram, Facebook, and now coming through on display adverts as well, just because you visit their website with offers, etc. Massive. So obviously the big companies are doing it, and it's if you have a product, like you said, an e-commerce business, you should probably try and get involved in that and really try and get in front of people now if they have all this extra time. And like you said, that's a good point. Keeping in people's minds, the last lockdown was a few months. This one's looking again like a few months. As we know, in business, a few months is a long time. And if you have a service business, for example, not being able to get in front of your customers on a day-to-day basis, doing your traditional sales techniques might mean that you don't stay in the mind of those people. So you've always got to be looking within these tough situations, how can I adapt and change? And I think digital marketing can be the way of doing that in a cost-effective way. And that cost effectiveness is what brings me on to my next point, because as me and you have said recently, within these podcasts, we've touched on Facebook and Instagram, we've touched on Google. And one of the questions people will probably be asking, listening to this, is which one should I be doing if I've got a limited budget? Because again, I'm not saying that people are going to have an unlimited marketing budget in these times, especially if they don't in normal times. Small to medium-sized businesses have a limited budget. So you want to be spending it on the things that are going to get you either the most cost-effective manner or the most results. So I think just want to do a quick comparison between Facebook and Instagram. And then your Google ads, Facebook and Instagram, social media, and you're going to touch on the organic side and what you can do on the free side later in a bit. But people are going to be on social media now. They're at home in their downtime, as we just touched on. So these are great if you want to get out there and create awareness while people are at home and drive leads. because social media usage is going to go up. So people are going to be spending more time on these platforms. However, the bidding methods, as we've touched on in previous episodes, is different between Google and Facebook and Instagram, in that you pay to reach a certain amount of people on Facebook and Instagram, is how it broadly works, compared to Google on a cost per click method, which you can look to adapt, which obviously differs in how your advertising budget is used up. So if you're on a limited budget, an argument could be that Google advertisements, so your search, your display, and your YouTube on a cost per click method are going to be more cost effective, because you're going to definitely know that, for example, £1 per click, a £30 budget is going to be 30 people going to my website, and I know I'm driving traffic. Whereas if you haven't tested your Facebook ads and you're starting out on there, £30 budget, £35 budget could be a test, like me and you talk about all the time. That could simply be one test. And if you're starting off at that point, you don't have any data to compare it with. You're going to be learning through that campaign initially. So you're not going to know at that point, okay, I'm guaranteed that this audience works. I know about that. Or this copy and this content works. You're going to be starting from scratch. So I think a safer bet for people, if they're worried, might be to try a Google ad on a cost per click basis and really make sure that, okay, I know that I've spent my £30 this week or this month, but I have driven 30 clicks to my website, or whatever your cost per click rate is. I don't know what your thoughts on that, Adam, but that's just my initial thinking.
The thing for me is, I think is absolutely spot on, because one of my mentors always said to me, it's not the job of the customer to keep you in their mind, it's your job. So if you're getting, even if you're getting like 30 clicks, but the advert is still being seen by a few people, it is the awareness stage leading into engagement and subscription and that side and commitment. So it's keeping people aware of your business. So for me, it's although it's like, as you say, 30 quid, it's 30 quid. But if you're getting 30 clicks on it, it's cost you a quid, but you're also getting that awareness from the impressions as well. So it's keeping people at the forefront, and you can run it over, a couple of weeks.
Exactly. And we control over your budget. Always have control and be willing to spend it. And the impression things is spot on. You could get 100 clicks in a month, but you could appear in 10, 15,000 Google searches, and that's all told to you before your campaigns start by whoever's doing your marketing. You can always have an idea of that. Just like Facebook is, you go out and reach a certain amount of people. So that's a really good point, actually. You can create that awareness through Google ads. You can sort of do both. You can ensure that you're getting clicks to your website when you're paying, but you are appearing in those Google searches and on display ads, things like that. So yeah, spot on.
It is, just that awareness all the time, and keeping it going.
I think as well, it's worth noting, this is a massive thing, touching on lockdown, limited budgets, etc. Google are still doing their free credit vouchers for new companies that are starting Google ads. Okay, so if this doesn't apply to you, if you're a sort of a business that has already started Google ads and they've already started spending. However, if you're a startup or medium-sized business or a large company that hasn't, get your voucher code in and get double your budget, essentially. If I think around at the minute you can get a voucher for around £120 for the month, up to. Okay, so this obviously means if you spend £120 in your first budget month, you get that back in free credit. That's £240 in spend. So for £30, like we gave earlier, you're essentially getting £60 over 2 months. And for small businesses that are struggling, this free ad spend, it's free advertising. And again, you're not going to get that on a platform like Facebook and Instagram. Now, I'm not trying to say don't use Facebook and Instagram, because they are platforms that can work really well for businesses. I'm just trying to say, if people in lockdown are worried about their budget, this is a way of getting a little bit more spend and a little bit more boost to your advertising budget throughout lockdown.
I'm total agreement with you, because I think, as you say, is that if you could spend £30 on Facebook and do an awareness sort of like campaign, and not get any clicks, and you haven't got necessarily the data. You probably you might not be testing stuff you've got no data with it. Whereas with Google, as you exactly said, is that that we're only going to be paying that £30 if I get a click, but it's the awareness as well of it, that side. So so people are going to see it. So if they don't click, but you're still making your business aware, you've still got it out there, you are keeping visible,
I don't know what you think on this, Adam. We know we talk about testing. If you think about it in this way as well, the money your first month, again, we'll use £30. You're going to get £30 back in free advertising spend for next month. But you will have learned a lot in the first month about how you were spending your money. So you're going to actually, that second installment, that free ad credit, you're actually going to be spending that in a better way and a more cost-effective way, because you're going to know, for example, what keywords are and aren't working, so you can focus on those in the second month. You're going to know if you can adjust your bids for certain keywords, or which keywords work well, so let's therefore put more budget towards those keywords, etc. So that £30 that you're getting for free, it's great, it's free, but it's also going to be spent on based on data and testing. And again, you'd hope that next results are going to be a lot more effective for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing from my side, we were saying around the social media from my side now is if we are at home now, when we're in a lockdown, as we are in a lockdown scenario, it might be a time to test the amount of posts you're doing. So let's say if we are, I don't know, on Twitter or, with Instagram, we're only doing like 2 a day, up it to 5, up it to 6. To see what happens, because there's only a certain percentage of people of our followers would get to see that advert, but so test it. So whilst you've got this opportunity, as we always say in marketing, as we've said before, always be testing. So take the opportunity to test stuff and get out there. Don't stop the social media. Absolutely do not stop it. You've got to keep visible. So keep planning in. It's time to, if you've got time, write blogs, get videos done, start a podcast, whatever you want to do. Just get stuff ready and out there. Take the opportunity to do it, because, a blog post, a good 500 word blog post creates 5 posts. And it's set up there as an asset, and in lockdown you could probably get a fair few done, and they're all planned in then for the rest of the next 6 months, sort of thing. So just take the opportunity, keep it out there, keep it consistent. As I've said before, routines and consistency will get the results. We know that social media management is long-term strategy, and as we've said before, if you switch it off, social media will penalise you for it. One of the things that is coming through, which I've got to do a little bit more research on, is I understand that Facebook is changing their algorithms for the live videos. From what I understand, that people have sussed out the best time to get the best reach for doing live videos. So as always, Facebook have saying, hang on, we're not going to do that. So we'll penalise those ones that have sussed out the best times to get the reach, and start doing pushing the ones that are doing it at different times of the day.
That might mean the 5:30 live's got to change to just.
Well,
anywhere.
I was thinking that, but I do quite like the 5:30 live, and it is a nice discussion. And if anybody wants to join and come in, they can do. And ask questions on that side. But I've got to do I want to do a little bit more investigation. Something I'd heard the rumour on. And I'd heard somebody else talk about it yesterday, so I want to find out a little bit more around it. But I can imagine them doing that. There's no two ways about it. But we'll see. But just keep visible. As Mr. Paul Horn will say, you got to keep visible to keep viable. Nicking his quote, although I've quoted him on it. Mr. Horn is Paul Horn from Cool Goldfish Design. He's come up with that top value proposition and statement. So without a shadow of a doubt, you've got to keep that being consistent and out there. Anything else to add?
That's all from me. Just people, again, if you're going to start advertising, just make sure you know your budget, especially in these times, and have a make sure that if you know what you can afford to spend and potentially not get any results out of. Digital marketing isn't a quick fix. It is a marketing method, but it does require a lot of testing, as we keep touching on. So don't go into it with the fact that this could potentially either boost or save a business in this time. Just always have a budget which you can afford to lose, and potentially get some great results out of it.
And the one, anybody who wants to know anything, anybody who wants to ask anything, if you want any help, if you want us to do anything, then get in contact with us. Just comment, leave a message, go to us on the website. www.adampayne.me, and we'll sort stuff. We are open to questions. We are open to helping out in this lockdown time. So I will say again, Happy New Year. I don't know when we stop saying that. I suppose it's when everybody starts getting a bit peeved with it.
I'll stop saying it after they locked us down, to be honest.
So I think after today I'm going to stop saying it as well. So excellent, good stuff. And we shall see you next week.
Cheers, Adam.
And I don't know how to stop me live now because the button's gone. There we go.